The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manoj Abhichandani, and today I would be presenting on enhancement to whatever enhancement we have made to the online SMSF audit program. I will be showing you online and how you can actually benefit from these enhancements. What we'll do is we'll wait for a couple of more minutes. And we'll let some more people join in, and we'll start say in a minute or two. Uh, please wait. Um I think I'm ready to start now. First of all, I'll discuss whatever changes we have made to the software, and then I will show you how you can, as an auditor, check the percentage, the actuarial certificate percentage, which has been provided by the accountant to you. And then later on, I'll take your questions and see whatever you're not able to grasp. I'll go over with all those questions for you. Now, if you can't hear me properly, then you will see on your panel that there is a phone number provided with an access code. So I'm using quite a sophisticated system here, so I cannot do better than what I am doing at the moment. So if you can't hear me, you'll have to call that number. I think that's a Melbourne number. Enter the access code and the PIN, and then you'll be able to hear me through your telephone instead of your headset. And all your questions, there is a panel, there's an area in your panel. So if you click on it, if you type in your question, then please allow me to finish my presentation. I don't think I'll be longer than 15 to 20 minutes. And then what I will do is I'll go through all the questions. I'll read out the questions for everyone. So if you haven't asked a question, you can hang on and see what other people are asking, and then probably grasp a few things from what other people are asking. Now, the things we're going to talk about here is the new My Fund page, which we have introduced. I'll give you a reason why we did that is because the existing page, when you logged in, had a lot of calculations, had to figure out quite a few things like the date of birth of a member, whether the fund has accumulating or pension members, or what is the ABN of the fund, whether the fund is in progress or whether you have commenced that fund or not. So it had to do a lot of calculations. And if you had, say, more than 200 or 300 funds, it was taking maybe 5 or 6 seconds to actually display that page. So what we have done is we have actually created a new page, and we're calling it My Fund page. It has no calculation whatsoever, like the previous page, and it displays all your funds. And from that page, you can search your fund. And once you search your fund, it will give you all the information which you need. So instead of displaying or trying to pick up, remember the software, the RAM, trying to pick up all your funds data, it'll just display one funds data to you. So the loading will be very, very quick. You will also be able to, all those funds listed on my fund page are alphabetic, and I'll show you, and you will be able to increase the number. At the moment, the default is 10. You'll be able to increase it to 25, 50, or 100. So, it'll be very easy for you to navigate to your fund. As the page gets longer, if you have 100 funds on display. Now, you could also search for your fund, and once you have searched for your fund, you can start auditing on that fund. So, the flow is very simple. And if you wanted to go back to your SMSF Audit Manager page, there is a link, there's an icon, and you can go back to that old page if you like the look of that page. Um, at least you will be able to log in and you'll be able to decide what you really want to do. So, the next thing which we have done is we have changed the look and feel of your tabs, tab A to tab H. you'll be able to scroll down the tab and you'll be able to do more work, because now it occupies only 23%. The headers occupy only 23% of your screen. The first thing you'll notice is that instead of the slim looking look and feel, you have the broad feel, and depending on the size of your screen, it should be able to completely, occupy your screen with a border on the two sides. And it has been now enhanced so that any comments which you make, it will automatically save it at that moment instead of when you saved the whole tab. And I'm going to show you how that works, and then later on I'm going to show you the how the actuarial certificate works. So let's start our work. So what I've done is I've just gone into the online SMSF audit. I'm on the home page now, and I'm going to log in, and the dummy passwords which I'm using for a dummy audit firm is partner@partner.com.au. If you wanted to play around with the software, you can do that too. The password for this dummy firm is partner, so partner@partner.com.au, and the password is partner. I've clicked in, I uh, I've clicked into the software, and you saw how quickly it loaded. For this firm, we have 26 funds. So even if you had even 10 times or even 2,000 funds, this page will load very, very quickly, because the information which we have on this page is only for these 10 funds. And as you can see that it's more or less alphabetically. So if you wanted to increase that list, here we have only 26 entries. You can see all of them. So they're all listed over there. So if you wanted to increase them to a higher number, so if you have less than 100, you can see all your funds in one page. Now, the SMSF Audit Manager page is still there. So if at any time you wanted to go to the SMSF Audit Manager page, and you can toggle back to My Funds page, and you will notice that My Fund page will load a bit more quicker. Now, you can't click into that fund, but if you wanted to select that fund, so let's say you're looking for a fund which starts with, say, T for Tom, and all you have to do is go there, and then once you find that fund, you can either click on the ABN, click on the name, or you can click in My Progress. And once you have clicked it, it'll display that particular fund only in the Audit Manager, SMSF Audit Manager display. So once you are here, you know what to do, and you can navigate. And this fund, as you can see, is in progress. So I'm just going to click in progress and show you how tab A and tab H have been enhanced. So the area basically from here to the top, I mean the bottom of the tabs to the top, it covers only about 23%. You have almost 80% of the screen which is open. So when you scroll down, you will be able to do more work. As you can see, there's more space and all the icons are still visible. So the only thing which gets hidden is who is logged in. You will see that this fund has an audit partner and has an auditor as well. So if there was a staff member connected to this fund, their name will also display on the top and side. But the person who's logged in would be the highlighted person. We logged in as an auditor. Had we logged into the fund as an auditor, you would see that this name would be highlighted. Another thing which we have improved, when you were scrolling down earlier, you could not see the permanent documents and the audit evidence, because they were left up. They were connected to the first question. So what we have done is we have disconnected it with the top questions. So when you scroll down, you will always have access to the permanent documents and the audit evidence for the fund. So you'll be able to access it while you're working. So say if you were in the balance sheet area and you wanted to look at a permanent document, you would be able to do that. Now, the next thing which we are working on, so if there is a permanent document and there is a related question, so let's say we are checking a savings account or a bank account of the fund, and if the title of the document is a bank account, then that document would be easily accessible. Instead of looking at the table on the left hand side, there will be one document icon coming here. So if you click that, it will display only the documents which are relevant to that particular question. So we are looking at situations where there could be multiple documents relating to that particular questions. So we are developing that link. So it will be a helpful link. Instead of searching on the panel on the left, all you'll have to do is press on that icon D on your right hand side on the comment section. At the moment, you can just raise queries on that icon. And if you had a trial balance figure, you can also view that. So for example, if you had a trial balance figure, so say CBA Bank, and if you were auditing the question relating to the CBA Bank, I'm just going to save that figure there for you. So what you have to do is just click on the Save tab B button, and then if you move to the balance sheet side of things, then you will see that another icon would appear, which is TB. And if you just took your mouse over to that, it'll give you the figure of that bank account which we just entered. So there will be a new icon appearing on the left hand side. The other thing which we have improved is the look and feel of the whole website and the autosave section. So what I mean by autosave is that if you clicked on more here and if you entered some information, if you clicked it here, the system will automatically save. So if you go back, if you move to another tab and then come back to this tab, it would be very easy for you to find that comment made by you. So you don't have to press that tab on the top. So it allows you to enter more information and then auto save your data. Now I'm just going to go out to the Audit Manager. Sorry, I've just left someone's speaker on, so I'm just going to disconnect them. Sorry, I'm just trying to find out. There's someone whose speakers have been left on. Right, I think that's. Oh no, I think. I'm just going to shut everyone up. Okay, I think that has worked. All right. So now I'm back on the SMSF Audit Manager page, and I'm going to see how I'm going to apply an actuarial certificate on the system. Now, as you can see, we have allowed auditors to order certificates. In fact, it's not for ordering purposes, it's more for auditing whether the actuary who has provided the certificate has entered the correct data into the system or not. So I've entered this information earlier, so I'm just going to go over this information with you, and then you can see how it actually works. So there's one limitation. So I'm just going to go back and show you what the limitation is first. So we are looking at the fund called the 123 test funds. And I've just clicked 2000. I'm going to click on Actuarial Certificate 2017 year because 2016 has already been edited. So the limitation is that you can only order an actuarial certificate for the current year. So if you're an accountant, if you're ordering actuarial certificate, $55 price will be only available if your auditor has completed that financial year's audit. If the auditor has not completed the audit, he will not be able to audit. He'll not be able to order the actuarial certificate for that particular year. So what we are hoping is that this facility is only for those accountants who are who have auditors who are using the system. So let's have a look at this actuarial certificates which I've applied for. The name of the members have already been brought across. The name of the fund, the year which you're applying for has been brought across. The
We've done
first
now
question
some
is whether
depreciation calc.
reserve. Sorry, I've still
Rang me
got that
before, left a
problem.
message. He's just
Trying
looking at the management entry and there's some
just
calculation
hold
there for
on.
depreciation. It won't affect the financials, but I think the management has been allocated.
Depreciation, right?
So it's got to move it between.
Sorry, I'm just going to fix this problem. Sorry.
There you are. I'm waiting on him.
Uh, Sorry, I'm not able to shut one person up. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to do my best with the system available. Okay, looks like now it's worked. All right, now first you have to check whether the fund has got a reserve account or not. So if you do have a reserve account, you click yes and then you enter the closing balance. Now a reserve account can never be in pension phase, so you enter the opening balance and you enter the closing balance, and then the system will work out the exact amount which has remained in the accumulation phase. Now it gives you the name, the form gives you the name of the two members. What I've done is I've entered accumulation balance of the first member and the pension balance of the first member. As you can see, I've entered $2.6 million so that our calculations are a little bit simpler. Then the question is about whether there are any concessional contributions or whether they are non-concessional contributions. And as you can see, they are only in the accumulation side, not in the pension side. It'll ask you whether there's been any transfer from the reserve account, and this is where you'll find that a lot of actuaries have made a mistake. What you have to make sure that on 30th June, the balance of the pension account is not more than 1.6 million. So what you need to do is you need to work out how much money has been contributed into the fund and what are the pension payments. And after you work that out, that is the amount which will be commuted from the pension account, and this commutation amount will automatically be rolled back into the accumulation stage. So we at the beginning had a figure 123,000, and because we had a higher figure, then the balance transfer cap amount, a certain figure needs to be transferred back or commuted. Now, this commutation depends on whether the funds were segregated or unsegregated. I'm not going to go into that, but most likely your clients would have done nothing, and most likely the commutation is going to happen on 30th of June. You can see that the effect of that commutation is only 1 day because the average balance of the accumulation account has increased by 914,000, but the effect would be very, very low. So once we go through the form, it'll ask you how many pension payments you have made. So if there are 3 pensions, it'll give you a third date, and then you enter those amounts there, and then you go to the next member, and then you enter figures for the other member. In this case, what I've done is I've started with an accumulation account, and then I've made a contribution, a non-concessional contribution of 25,000 on the 19th of August, and then I'm converting the full amount 1850 plus 25,000. I have commenced a pension in the same year for 1875, and since there were some pensions made out in the year $50,000, the commutation amount has reduced to 225,000, so that my balance on 30th of June of the pension account is not more than 1.6 million. So once you have entered the data for the two clients, all you have to do is just make sure that your balance sheet is telling. And the way to do that is that you enter the realized and the unrealized amounts of loss if there is a loss. So that means if you're using BGL or BGL 360, you will have to create entries so that you know what your fund balance is on 30th of June. So you enter the unrealized amount, and then the system will automatically pick up the concessional and the non-concessional and the rollover figures. The next question is, what is the realized income? What you can do is you can choose to enter the full figure, or if you want, the system can ask you for individual figures. You can enter them, and we have put a wild card for other. So you enter all the income, and automatically totals up the total income of the fund and the expenses of the fund. So the system will basically ask you to well, the pension figures have been entered here. It's given you the rollover figures, and the system will ask you whether this total matches with your profit and loss or not. And if it does match with your profit and loss, that means your entries are correctly entered. We don't want you to enter the tax amount. If you want, you can. We don't have to. The reason is because this tax amount is incorrect, because we haven't worked out what is your actuarial percentage at this point of time. Now, if you click on the next button, I'm not going to, you can check these figures, whether these figures look okay or not, whether the balance sheet looks okay or not. And once you are happy with the balance sheet, then you can download the provisional certificate, and you can also download the member account summary, which is in Excel format. This provisional certificate is not from the actuary, it is from us. So what it has done is worked out the average balances, and as you can see, it's in a PDF format. You can download it so that you can prove in your audit that you have checked these figures. So what it does is it picks up all the relevant information of the pension accounts and the accumulation accounts, the various contributions made by the members, the pensions paid, and the rollovers, and gives you the closing balance, and it gives you the percentage as well. Now, in certain cases, you will see that the percentage don't match. And if they don't match, then what you need to do is you have to look at our calculation and compare it with the actuary's calculations. And you will notice in some cases that the percentage could be out by 2 or 3%. Now, if the fund earns a lot of income, that 2 and 3% could amount to a lot of dollars. So let's say if the fund earned $1 million in capital gain in that year, 2% of income is $20,000. The tax effect could be $3,000. So it could be quite a bit, in tax savings. So this is what you really need to discuss with the accountant and see whether the accountant is prepared to use another actuary or use us in their calculations. Now, because it's provisional, in 9 out of 10 cases, our actuary will look at these figures and do his own calculation and come up with the same answer. But it's possible that he may come up with a different answer. But what we have noticed is that it's almost 98% our calculations are correct. Now, I'm just going to log out of here, and I want to show you what the accountants page is going to look like, because we have made some improvements there as well. So if you wanted to play around with the accountant side of it, the login username is accountant@accountant.com.au, and the password is accountant. You'll see that we have provided the same My Funds page for the accountant, and we have left the document manager intact. And if an accountant wants to order an actuarial certificate, all he has to do is click this order button, and it'll take him through to the same page where we were as an auditor. So that's it. I'm almost done. I will have a look at the panel if there are any questions. If there are